What is up? What's up, everybody? Let's go live. Let's go live. All right, let's see what's going on. All right, perfect. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Awesome. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. If you guys jump in the chat, just let me know. So, what I'm actually going to be going over, have you ever been in a situation where you wanted to lose some weight, you lost some weight, and then you put it back on? All right, and you put the weight back on. Usually, you put on more than you lost, and then you kind of repeat this cycle. So you lose, you gain it. You lose, you gain it, which is frustrating. So what I'm going to show you is why that happens and how you can get past that. So with what I'm about to tell you, you'll never have to worry about this issue ever again. So let's kind of walk through the whole process. So here's kind of how I'm going to demonstrate it. So I want you to think of this. Okay, this is our iceberg, right? So this is our iceberg. Hopefully you can see that. All right. So here's our iceberg. And again, what I'm going to walk you through is how to lose weight and keep it off for good. See, because here's what happens. Let me just start this way. So I'm going to use the example of someone that wants to lose 40 pounds. Okay. So this person has an extra 40 pounds that they need to deal with. Now, the reason this is an iceberg is because there's above the water and there's below the water, and this will all make sense in a minute. So we have what's above the water and below the water. So above the water is what we can visually see. So someone can visually see, like you look in the mirror and say, okay, I have 40 extra pounds I need to get rid of. Like you can see that and other people can see that as well. So above the water, let me get a different color marker. So above the water, we have results, which again, you and everybody else can see. So typically what people do, probably the first, because people like quick results. So they say, okay, I have 40 pounds I want to get rid of. How do I get rid of this 40 pounds? They take the fast routes, right? So the fast routes might be you go get weight loss surgery. The fast route might mean you get on some sort of weight loss medication, Ozempic or something to that nature. Now, the thing about those things is if you just stop at that level, you will 100% put the weight back on, without a doubt, with 100%. You have to go down to the next level, which the next level is behaviors. Now, this is where a lot of people will start. They'll say, hey, I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to start eating healthy. I'm going to start being conscious of what I put in my body. They're going to start changing their behaviors. Now, this works, but it's usually temporarily. This is why you see people, they'll lose weight and then they put it back on because what they're focused on is changing their behaviors. What do I do with my marker? And instead of just focus on changing our behaviors, which all of this is above water, we have to go below, right? We have to go below. And the first thing we're going to deal with is emotions. And here's why it's important you got to go below, because your emotions are going to dictate your behavior. So if you don't investigate your emotions, if you don't handle this, your behaviors will never change long term. And the goal is to keep it off long term. So you might be a person that when you get stressed out, right, you lean towards food. Or when you're having relationship issues, you get sad and that causes you to eat. Or maybe when you get stressed at work, that stress causes you to eat. So it's those emotions, the feeling of stress, the feeling of anxiety, the feeling of maybe not being good enough. It's those emotions that dictate your behaviors. So this is better than just dealing what's above, right? Dealing with those actual emotions. So you might say, okay, when I feel myself getting stressed out, I'll go for a long walk. When I feel myself getting anxiety and overwhelmed, I'll read a book, which those are all great things. But if you want a transformation, and let me say this, because there's a big difference between a change and a transformation. See, the person that lost 40 pounds and put it back on, all they did is change. So let me give you a visual example. I'm a visual person. If you take this and you do this, it's changed. If you do this, it's changed. If you do this, it's changed. But it's very easy for this to go right back to this. What you need is a transformation. You need to go from this to this. That's a transformation. So going from this back to this, it's not going to happen. These are two totally different things. A butterfly doesn't go back to being a caterpillar. So if you want lasting change, you need to make a transformation, and that's by going below. That's what we're working on now. We're talking about a complete transformation. Like when I work with my clients, I don't want them to just temporarily change. Like we're not losing 40 pounds for your birthday. We're losing 40 pounds for your life. We're losing 40 pounds so we can add an extra 10 years or 15 years at the end. That's what happens when you do a transformation. So we're going deeper. Next, we go down to the next level, which is your thinking. Your thinking, here's why we have to, and I want you guys to really catch this, because if you follow these principles, if you follow this system, it'll change your life forever. So your thinking is what controls your emotions. Your emotions control your behaviors. Behaviors control your results. So do you see how this is like now we're getting like when you start getting into this, when someone starts changing the way they think, this is the stuff what changes your whole life. This isn't we're no longer talking about temporary changes here. This is the kind of stuff that transforms your life, the way you think. Because people can take the same situation and one person looks at the situation and they think, let's use the gym. Like I want to give you real life examples. So one person looks at going to the gym and they think, oh man, I'm going to be sweaty. There's going to be a whole bunch of people in there. Like I'm going to get agitated. I'm not going to know what to do. That's this person. That's how they think. This person over here, their thinking is, man, I get to go into the gym. I get to put in some work. I get to work on myself. I get to build muscle. I get to work towards losing the 40 pounds. So their thinking is completely different. It's the same thing. Both people are talking about a gym, but it's two different perspectives. It's two different ways of thinking, which brings us to the next level. Now we're getting deep. We're getting to the stuff that really transforms your life, and it's your values. See, most people, they really don't value their health. I understand they want to lose the weight. Let me be very clear about this. I've never met someone who made the decision like, hey, I want to lose weight. Hey, I want to go on a diet, and they didn't want to lose the weight. I've never met someone like that. Everybody started and they really wanted to get the results. But again, it's your values that are going to lead to long term. And most people just don't value their health until it's too late. Meaning they're just living their best life. And then one day they go to the doctor and the doctor says, hey, Mike, if you don't lose weight, you're not going to be around to see your daughter walk down the aisle. Some people, it's, they have a heart attack. And after they have that heart attack, they're like, man, that's the thing that changed. And now they value health. The value changed. So you might be thinking, how do I, because it's not that they don't value their health, because they do, but it's not at the forefront. So how do you get your health at the forefront of your thinking? Well, you can link it to something I know you do value, and it is at the forefront. So a lot of people, this is their kids. A lot of people value their kids. A lot of people value their time, their kids. So let's just use that one. So do you want to be around longer for your kids or less for your kids? Most people would say longer. Well, that's directly correlated to your actual health, right? So that's way of value. And then the last thing is your beliefs. This is powerful when you get into this. Because your beliefs control everything. So this is how this whole system works. Your beliefs dictate your values. Your values dictate your thinking. Your thinking dictates your emotions. Your emotions dictate your behaviors, and your behaviors give you the results. So this is how you change your life, not change it. This is how you absolutely transform your life. So if you're just trying to do this stuff up here, it's not going to work. But if you do all of these steps, I promise you'll completely transform your life. Hopefully you guys got some value in this. Hopefully this made some sense. But here's what I can tell you. If you apply these principles, if you apply this way of thinking, it will change your life. See you on the next one.